So now, without further ado, we're going to move right into our first panelist. So we're going to start with Miss Kimberly Eckert. Kimberly's been teaching in West Baton Rouge Parish for 9 years. In addition to teaching English 1 at Brusly High School, she has also served as a special education inclusion teacher, a reading interventionist, a speech teacher, mentor, and master teacher, as well as an instructional coach. Eckhart holds a Bachelor of Social Work, completed her teacher preparation program through LRCE, and obtained a master's degree in special education from none other than Northwestern State University. In 2016, Kimberly was named as the Louisiana Association of Computer Using Educators, LACUE, Teacher of the Year for high schools. Previously, she won the same award for middle schools, and in 2013, Kimberly was selected as the West Baton Rouge Parish Middle School Teacher of the Year for her work as special education teacher. She has been awarded several grants to further educational initiatives, is a Kagan Scholarship winner, a Discovery Star educator, and has had student work showcased on local TV stations in Baton Rouge. Kimberly has presented at local and state conferences and has had work featured in LACUE publications on integrating technology for struggling learners in a flipped classroom. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2018 Teacher of the Year, Ms. Kimberly Eckert.
Hi. First of all, before I say anything else, I have got to so sincerely thank this entire community. My story is actually pretty cliche, but my upbringing, rural Louisiana, first to go to college, very low socioeconomic, and obviously so many of our students share that story. But for any student, not just me, but for the thousands of students that live here and call Natchitoches home for their tenure for college, that they go from thinking they could go nowhere and to having like, you can go anywhere and you can do anything, that's really powerful. And so the idea that I'm even here speaking before you, whenever I know that every single door that's ever been opened for me literally was opened on the campus here at Northwestern and through this community that has always embraced me and shown me so much love, that's pretty amazing. And I don't think most people ever get a chance to do that and to say thank you to an entire community. So thank you so very, very much. Aside from that, today I'm going to tell you a little bit about my rise to teaching, because I have a very non-traditional story for that. And then I'm also going to tell you a little bit about what it's like to actually be a teacher in today's classroom. And then I'll tell you a little bit about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. Ever since July 28th, everything's just really changed, and it's only been 2 months. So, first of all, my Bachelor in Social Work is also from Northwestern. I just can't get enough. I probably need like another degree from here after this. But I was a social work major. It was just never on my radar to be a teacher. And that was never anything about the profession. It's just that I needed to help and I needed to change. And if you look at any materials that are published for social work, the entire idea and the concept is to take people's skills and it's to help them empower themselves and it's to help the individual and then the community and then the larger picture to where you start a ripple and then it turns into the ocean. And so it was just amazing to have a background like that. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how it shifted and how all the work I ever set out to do, I'm doing every single day for 125 kids a year. It's amazing. Basically, after I was done, the first 7 or 8 years of my life my professional life was through social work. And I was a program manager actually for an organization called Best Buddies. It's the sister organization to Special Olympics, so it's very Kennedy Shriver. So where Special Olympics focuses on like athletic inclusion, the Best Buddies program is social inclusion and making partnerships there. So it's such a cool job. Like some things I miss, like being able to go to the bathroom whenever you want, because I was a program manager, you could do that. As a teacher, you cannot. But in any sense, it was very cool. I got to write grants and I got to host fundraisers and events and do event planning, and it was amazing. But the biggest part of my job was creating these programs. And so I was actually in a lot of schools around the state where I was meeting with kids with and without disabilities to kind of promote that social inclusion. And that was an amazing job. It was an amazing experience that I had. But the only time that I was like truly happy, and I'm generally a pretty happy person. If I was shining shoes, I'd be really happy with that. But the only time that I was like at my very best was whenever I was in the schools, because ultimately I was driving back, or I was traveling for work, or I was writing reports about what I did and reports about what everybody was doing. And I only felt like the fulfillment, and I felt the magic, and I felt the excitement and the exuberance whenever I was working around other teachers and working with those students. So it really was, it wasn't much of a hard decision to just kind of quit my job and like totally change the trajectory and figure out a way that I could be in on that action, because I knew that like all of the things inside of me, like this is what it must have led to. So whenever I started as a teacher, I was at Port Allen Middle School as a special education inclusion teacher, coming from the past where there was no inclusion. So I had a lot to learn. It's amazing the things that the average teacher does every single day. That Dr. Eckhart, that's why I needed a degree, because I'm like, I don't know any of these things. And so I was like, I need to go and get more education on this. So essentially, switching to the classroom is the most powerful thing I've ever done. But I'll tell you a little something first, and I'll come back to it later. Whenever I made the switch, the people in like my professional circles and my peer group, literally with their face and their body language and sometimes their words, it was just, why are you going to be a teacher? You could do so much more than that. So I'll kind of hold that, and then I'll pick it up again in just a second. So basically over the past 10 years, I can only say that there's never a dull moment, and there's no profession where if you really, really put your money where your mouth is, and it's not just, oh, teachers change the world. No, really, we do. And the things that we undergo and all the things we have to learn, on my slowest day of summer, I'm still working harder than my max day in my other profession, my other career. And that's saying a lot. And so a person like me and every good teacher really thrives on that, because in the course of a day, you're teaching, and that's the end of it. So we hear the jokes about, you know, oh, you're a counselor and a juggler and a comedian and a community activist. And I'm like, yeah, we are. Love all the things, because it's amazing. So like I said, the average teacher takes on so much more and has so much power and so much weight than most of us would ever get in a lifetime in another career. And that's a pretty special thing. So with that being said, 2 months ago, so July 28th, whenever I was announced as Louisiana Teacher of the Year, in my mind it was quite shocking. If you've ever had the misfortune to watch that video of the moment happening, I really couldn't believe it, because I know the other teachers are just like me. They're all working very, very hard, and they're all doing amazing things, sometimes with very, very little. So it just was absurd to me that I would be the representative of 60,999 others that are just like me every single day. So what I did start to realize after the shock still hasn't worn off, but it's a little more like, I don't know, reality is more palpable now. But that the need right now is for people like you who are willing to listen and to elevate the profession. Because for every one of me that was deterred, that got the phrase, you could do so much more, what do you mean? What does that mean? So this profession doesn't need the kid that's really great at history. You should be a teacher. No, we need the people who are great at all the things. We need the smart one and the vibrant one and the exciting one and the one who's not afraid to learn new things and new challenges, because that's what a good teacher is, and that's what a good teacher has to be to make the kind of impact that's required for this world that's changing faster than we can even write down yesterday's news. It's such an amazing and such a powerful thing. So I think it's pretty amazing that this is the first event that I've had to be able to share and speak, and obviously you're very committed to listening, and that's amazing. So I can only ask that if you've never stopped to think about it before, what do we need to do to change it where the very best kids in the graduating class, that whenever they are talented and amazing, you need to be a teacher. That needs to be the narrative that we have, because we know that we say the words and we walk the walk with our footsteps, that there's nothing else. Who else is going to teach the kids whenever they show up on the job to be creative and resilient and empathetic and passionate and problem solvers? You need great teachers to do that. And the best teachers that are placed to do that are the ones who do have all these skills. So it's certainly a community effort to be able to put that forward, so that the most talented people are the ones that are investing and cultivating and growing the talents in all of the kids that we teach every day. So aside from that, I can only thank you, and hopefully if you didn't have any fire sparked, if I just added, and if you've already been burning for teachers for years, I just shared mine with you. Thank you so much for having me, and then whenever we're all done, I would just be so honored to answer any questions about the most amazing profession ever. Biased. Thank you so much.